Pints in London are now officially £8. It's happened. This Time Out article is reporting on it.
I'm here at Ovo Arena, Wembley, and guess how much this pint of Madry has cost me? And it tastes like dog water. £18. Yeah. You're 2 beers, £18, and I'm sober.
£9.40 for a pint of beer. This is the row that's going on in London right now over dynamic pricing.
O'Neill's pub in central London has come under fire for its decision to charge £2 more per pint after 10 p.m, meaning their standard pint of Carlsberg costs £9.40.
When did a pint start costing more than a weekly shop? With the cost of living climbing across the UK, even a casual night out is off the table for many. Today, we're reacting to videos that show just how bad it's gotten, how the people are coping or not coping at all.
Pub owners are furious as they're losing customers as beer prices continue to soar. Check this out. Pub goers are choosing to stay at home as now a pint of beer is more than 2.5 times more than you could buy at a supermarket. Due to the cost of living crisis, increased staff costs and increased energy costs, pub owners are struggling to stay afloat as a pint of beer is 28% more in price than it was 5 years ago. 2019, the average cost of a pint was £3.67. In 2024, it's a whopping £5.20. Many pub landlords and certain members of the hospitality industry have even blamed off licenses and supermarkets for offering cheap deals on alcohol, which means that pub goers are no longer going to the pub on a Friday or Saturday night. Due to the cost of living crisis, generally people just cannot afford to go out and spend £5.20 on a pint of beer. Back in April, the owner of JD Wetherspoons even said to the Financial Times that the biggest competitor are supermarkets because of the prices of beer. So people, let me know your thoughts on this one. Are you still able to go out for a pint on a Friday or Saturday night, or even a midweek pint? Let me know what you think. Are pints way too expensive now? Can you still afford to go to the pub? Yes or no? Let me know what you think.
I wonder what £5.85 pint tastes like.
Question, how much is too much for a pint? This was £5.85. Obviously, man's on the big books and like TikTok pays me so well. So I can afford it, you know what I mean? Like, it's loose change to me, but seriously, how much is too much? That is not £5.85.
This is why pubs in the UK are broken. So I went out to my local pub the other night and it was nothing too fancy, just a local village pub, and I ended up paying £17.50 for a burger. So don't get me wrong, the people who own that pub probably know themselves that that's a bit pricey for a burger. But the problem is, with rising food costs and utility bills, they have to charge that price for a meal. So the problem with pubs serving £7.50 for a main course at the moment is that the food doesn't match up to the price. I can get as just as good as burger, if not better, in Burger King, and for half the price. And this is where the big problem is, because pubs traditionally are an everyman's place. You know, they're the place where you can take your family out for drinks and a meal and not be too badly out of pocket for it. I've just seen Daddy May Cooks and the rest of the family have just opened their own pub, and I think it is an absolutely amazing idea and a brilliant time to get into pubs. What they have as an advantage over other people who are starting pubs for the first time is that they've built that fan base. Like Spudman has done on TikTok, they give you an extra reason to come to the pub.
Start tracking your pint prices like the stock market. Bloody crazy.
Pints in London are now officially £8. It's happened. This Time Out article is reporting on it. It then goes on to explain that some are even £10 in certain areas in London. That is bloody crazy, and we have a solution for you. It's called Pintly, the only place you can get live, up-to-date pint prices in London and around the UK. You're going to click on your favourite beer, and it's going to show you the prices of all of those pints in London, in each pub. You're going to click on a pub, you're going to scroll up, and it's going to show you a list of all their beers with their prices. It's that simple. A way for you to start saving and to avoid those £8 pints. You can even click at the bottom, scroll up, and it will take you right to Apple Maps. Get on the iOS and Android store today and download Pintly if you already haven't. Start getting perfectly priced pints when you're next out drinking in London. You're welcome.
Call your local MP, because why the heck is their pint subsidised?
The cheapest pub in central London is actually in Parliament, where MPs who are on at least £80,000 a year can get £3 odd pints because it's all subsidised by the taxpayer.
talk about dynamic pricing. It's basically surge pricing, but for your pint. They dressed it up in fancy terms so you don't notice your beer now costs more just because the pub got a bit busy.
£9.40 for a pint of beer. This is the row that's going on in London right now over dynamic pricing. So a pub, part of a chain in London, has decided that they will jack up their prices to £9.40 a pint. £9.40 a pint, that's insane. Jack it up after 10 p.m. This is the same dynamic pricing that was used to sell the Oasis tickets, and because there was a ton of people queuing up, they jacked up the prices because they could. Now, I understand the logic of it. You can make more money, but I find it a little bit, there's something wrong with it, because basically you cannot know how much you're going to pay unless, you go. The other thing I don't like about it is what happens if you go, if it's not busy, if it's really quiet, is it cheaper? So this dynamic pricing seems to only go one way. In other words, there's a standard price, and if you come when it's busy, it's more. But if you come when it's really quiet, you pay the same. So I don't like this dynamic pricing. As a business person, I fully understand it, makes total sense. But I just think this opaqueness of pricing is a slippery slope we don't want to go down. I've been to countries where there's no pricing, and I don't like it. I've been to countries where the pricing's opaque, and you're kind of wondering, are they looking at you to see how much they can charge? I just don't like it. I prefer the transparency. I understand it, but I don't like it. What do you think? Dynamic pricing, good thing, bad thing, unfair, fair? Tell me in the comments.
This country is Finnish. £18 for a beer that tastes like dog water.
Yes, I said that. I'm here at Ovo Arena, Wembley, and guess how much this pint of Madry has cost me? I got two pints, one for me, one for the missus. We got in all good. Oh wait, by the way, the queue is appalling. Honestly, shit show. This is one of the worst events I've been to. But the music, we ain't got involved yet. But guess how much that was? And it tastes like dog water. £18. Yeah. 2 beers, £18, and I'm sober. Mother's life. I had 4 beers at a pub across the road before I came here. Sober. It looks like we're gonna have a few at the good times. We're gonna get involved. One of my mates just had to go for a massive shit as soon as he got in. So we stood here like little wet wipes, haven't we? Little wet wipes. Getting them down. £17. That's the only one I'm buying. It's in my mind. I can't afford that. You know what I mean? Unless you watch this video and I make a little bit of money.
Who are these people asking to pay more for a pint? Do they also volunteer to pay extra tax and enjoy soggy chips?
O'Neill's pub in central London has come under fire for its decision to charge £2 more per pint after 10 p.m, meaning their standard pint of Carlsberg costs £9.40. But they've explained, saying that it is because our customers often beg us to charge them more. They'll come in and remark about how they've never had such an authentic Irish experience and that our lager drinks are some of the freshest about, well worth more than £7.40. The pub has also reported they've actually seen an increase in punters coming in post 10 p.m. to pay the higher prices, with Irish bartender Reap Off often confirming that there are queues around the block when it gets to that time, with people chanting, "Nearly a tenner a pint, that's the UK way," and thanking Keir Starmer. Pubs across the country have started to see the positive reaction that O'Neill's has had to implementing dynamic pricing, and are saying they might start doing it themselves very soon, declaring that the cost of living crisis is clearly over in this country. The people yearn to spend their opulent cash flows on our incredible beer. No, of course we don't think that alcoholism might be a coping mechanism for capitalism's ever increasing prices and worsening in quality of life. Ugh, that'll be £11.40 for that Guinness tar.
Thousands of pubs across the UK are now at risk of closing. For me, it's not just about losing a place to drink. It's about losing a piece of British culture.
Hope you're all enjoying your Sunday afternoon. A few of you may have even been for a cheeky lunchtime pint or have gone for a pint in a local pub last night. However, are you aware that that's going to change? For many of you, that's going to change. Estimates are that in the next couple of years, as many as 9,000 pubs might close down. and let me explain why. So you're probably all aware that as of April, lots of changes in the tax system are coming in. Are you aware of the changes in the business rates system? So to put this into perspective, if you're a public house, and you have a rateable value of £100,000, then your business rates are going up by £19,000 in April. 19 grand. How many thousands of extra pints, when you consider the profit margin on a pint of lager is in the pence, it's less than £1 profit margin. How many pints does that mean extra pints have got to sell every year to cover that? And that's before you also take into account the fact that the minimum wage for their staff and bar staff is going up by roughly £1 a person. That's before you take into account the fact that national insurance payments on all of the employees is also going up. That's before you take into account the fact that the electricity, gas, heating and energy bills are all going up again because the rate cap is going to rise again in April. It's simply unaffordable. What sort of lunatic government raises business rates on essentially small businesses at the same time as putting up all of their wage costs, and at the same time all their energy costs are going up, and then doesn't expect that to result in job losses and closures? Of course it's going to happen. Pubs are going to be closing. They're already struggling. The only ones that are surviving are the ones that sell quite a lot of food and that have sort of revamped their business from being a standard traditional boozer to being almost a restaurant that sells drinks as well. They're the ones that are still managing to do well. Or if you happen to be in a location where you've just got a thriving local crowd of people that come in, but the vast majority of them are struggling. The vast majority of them have already had to lay off staff, and then this is coming down the tracks. Thousands of pounds of extra business rates every year. Thousands of pounds extra on their staff costs every year. Thousands of pounds extra on their energy costs every year, and you expect them to stay open. This government is killing small businesses. And pubs fall into two categories. You get the ones that are chain owned, the Wetherspoons, etc., and then you get the more individual ones that are either solely owned by the landlord, or they're owned by small conglomerates that might own 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 pubs. Those are the ones that are going to be killed. The big chains can spread their costs around, they can write it off, they have clever accountants. The smaller ones, the ones that we all like, are the ones that are going to go out of business. It's just shocking. If you go into your pub and you know the landlord, have a chat with them. Just ask them what's gone on in the last 2 or 3 years in terms of their costs, and what's projected to go on next year, from April actually in 2 months' time, when the minimum wage goes up, when their national insurance costs go up, when their business rates go up, when their heating and energy costs go up again. What are they going to do about it? How are they going to survive? And are they going to stay open? Just go and ask them.
I just don't understand all these prices at the minute. So literally, I took my dog for a walk yesterday. I thought, I'm going to stop in the pub. Like, I've not been in the pub in ages. There's just one on my corner. So I just plodded in with Zeus after our big walk. Can I have a Coke Zero, please? £3.50 for just a small Coke. When I tell you my jaw dropped, I was just like, what? What? And then I go into town today and, what's that? I was just getting some bits, like, Primark's not cheap anymore, is it, by the way? No. I've still got some new pyjamas, because I just think I deserve it. And then nip into Mackey's, got myself a little Happy Meal, got me and my mum a Happy Meal, because I just fancy a little snack. £3.50 with a Coke, the same size as the one I got yesterday. And I got a meal. What?
Is the classic British pub night becoming a thing of the past? Local pubs are struggling just as much as the customers, and if they go, we lose more than a drink. We lose a community. If you think pub prices have officially gone mad, give this video a like and hit subscribe. And drop a comment below on how much is a pint near you, and is it still worth it?